let's see here. What's up, folks? See, can I get this to work? Just playing around with some ideas, so y'all come on in while I'm getting this together. Let's see here. Good morning to you. Basi. What's up, Stephen? All right, let's get this together. Let's see if I can. All right, let's get that count off. Let's listen to it. I think I can deal with that. So let's keep it moving. We don't want to drag it out. How's everybody feeling this morning? We good? We good? Everybody's well, hopefully. All right, let's get some other sounds going. Creating a backing track for y'all. I think. Hopefully it's a backing track for y'all. I might steal it. Charles, what's up, man? Hope all is well. Can't wait to see where this one goes. Yeah, me too. I can't wait to see where it goes. I don't even know. Jim Morgan, I made it this morning and stayed up about all night. Wow, man. I appreciate that, man. Get another video. Yeah, man. Don't wait. Don't wait till it's too late. Go ahead and grab it now. Grab that good old hoodie. So the logo, the silhouette rather, of my personal silhouette. So I appreciate that. Let me see. I like that sound. I think I want to stack it with something else. I want to keep that sound and stack it with like a lead, some type of lead sound. That's kind of what I want to do. Let's see. Not that, for sure. This is really quick, guys. That can be altered. It's a mess in here. I've been learning songs and doing all kind of other stuff, so y'all look over it. Yeah, I think those two sound really cool. I can deal with that. Let's see. Let me find the melody, whatever it is. I gotta learn the melody. Create a melody. stuff at the same time. All right. See some other people jumping on. Somebody said, all right, let me go back up. Thank you, Charles, man. I appreciate that for all of y'all that heard Broken Vessels. I really, really appreciate that. All right, I missed a whole bunch of stuff that quick. All right, cool. Let me go back. Serge, morning, man. T, what's up, dude? Good morning, Bernard. I see Kenya's in the building this morning. Shane's, what's up, man? Shane's Book Corner. And the backing tracks is taking my practices to another level. Awesome. That's what I want to hear. Glad to hear that. That descending bass line kind of sounds like Christmas time is here by Vince. I got you. I didn't even think about that at all. Or not the bass line, those chords you recorded. I see what you're saying. Appreciate it. I'm born here. Peace, family. Charles from Virginia. What's up, Charles? Let me see if I can remember that melody. I remember what I was doing. Forgot the whole thing I was doing that fast. That fast. All right, I got it. Maybe not. We're just going to go in the red. We're going to figure it out. Slowly coming back to me. Yeah. All right. Slowly coming back. I'm going to get it. Hold on. Second half, it was a little weird. Alright, we're going to save a lot of time. We're just going to copy this. Amen. And paste. That way I can keep it moving. Let's see here. Thanks, Tiffany. That's a little too much. Let's go. Almost. I'm not feeling it. I'll probably go back and change this whole melody after a while. So don't even worry about it. All right. So, Tanya, good morning to you. All right. Thank y'all, man. The Broken Vessels. I really, really appreciate y'all listening to that song. Watching you do hash out stuff like this is very inspiring. Musicianship takes time, patience, effort, and above all, practice. These streams always help me to put the right headspace. Absolutely, man. Y'all see, it's not always easy. Some of this stuff comes easy and some of it don't. It's just you just keep going until you get it. Um, I usually don't get to catch them live. I have to go back and watch them recorded, but I'm home sick from work, so I got. Oh wow, man! Sad to hear that you're homesick, but glad you get to catch it nonetheless. You know what I'm saying? So anybody that's watching the replay, it's all good. I understand we all have a life, and everybody didn't get to jump on at 7:30 or whatever time it is for you. So yeah, let's see if I remember this melody now. Okay, it's after the downbeat. Okay, it's coming together a little bit more. Might be a little too busy for me. I think I like the simplified version better. Okay. Look at that. That was him. Let's do it again. I'm calling that too hard. Let's go back. Thank y'all for watching wherever you're from this morning. I really, really appreciate you joining in. Really do. I really appreciate that. I see Zimbabwe is in the house this morning. Greece is in the house. Good afternoon from Greece. Watching you play, create, and have so much fun doing it is very inspiring. Have been playing with the thought of getting a keyboard myself for a while. Go for it. Why not? Any artists you recommend getting into the study gospel bass playing? That's a lot of people that you can get into. As a matter of fact, I did a video on my channel. I think it's like 10 great gospel bass lines or something like that. And that'll give you a good starting point. If you go back and watch that video, it's like 10 gospel greats or something like that. I can't remember. But just go search my channel and you'll find it's like 10 bass greats or something like that. I don't know if it's inspired me or just 10 gospel bass greats that inspired me. Somebody help me out. If you know the video I'm talking about, put it in the comments so they can go back and watch it. But yeah, you can start there. That's a good starting point to study gospel. The feel of this track that I'm doing this morning, if you want to kind of get more into that vibe, you probably will want to listen to like some Yellow Jackets type stuff. That's that kind of vibe. It ain't Yellow Jackets, but it's that vibe. It's that kind of feel. That's not as much gospel as it is the Yellow Jackets jazz fusion. Slightly gospel, because gospel will go there. And funny thing is, the Yellow Jackets do feel gospel-ish at times. So yeah, definitely check that stuff out. Somebody said, Chrissy says, after I watch one of your videos, I said, that's it. I'm going to get one. Thank you. Corey, what's up, man? And welcome. Welcome to the family, Corey. I recognize your name. Yes, sir. Okay, let's keep moving. I'll go back and clean a lot of this stuff later. For the sake of time, I'm gonna keep moving. If it don't annoy me too bad, if it's annoying, I'm gonna have to fix it. That note right there. That note right there. Let's see. Let's try that. Clean that. Cool. Clean that up a little bit so it don't sound as bad on the ears. All right, so let's keep moving. What else can we add? Let me see if we can add some counter melody stuff. I don't know. Once again, where this stuff is going. It's just the fun of creating. All right. Andrew Wood, what's up, man? Hope you're good. Yes, sir. Thank God it's Tuesday. Yes, sir. Good morning from Chile. Chile is in the building. Gurus of Motivation, love it. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for watching. Eamon, watching from Kenya. Wow, 3 p.m. Walt, what's up, man? Watching from Philadelphia. Good stuff. Good stuff. Some bottom up under this thing. So hopefully you guys, I know a couple of you guys have already commented, but hopefully y'all have been really enjoying these backing tracks. And as my man Steven said, is helping him in his practice, and I'm hoping it's doing that for everybody in your own personal practice time. These tracks are really helping you to grow, kind of stretching you. I know they're loops, but you know, they give you the idea of moving around instead of just playing to a metronome all the time, or, you know, practicing only on the songs that you have to do. With this loop, it gives you the opportunity to hopefully develop some more ideas and develop some different nuances and stuff that you can do around these type grooves. It's not always the same thing, you know. It's not all gospel, it's not all funk, it's not all R&B groove, you know, it's a mixture of stuff, so hopefully you're definitely enjoying it. I remember in one of your older streams, you mentioned that you tend to get up quite early in the AM so that you have time to practice, pray, and prepare you for your day. Do you record these streams early, or what kind of settings did you record the bass on Broken Vessels? It sounds amazing. You said, do you record the streams early? I'm not sure what you mean by that, but with Broken Vessels, I actually use that serene bass with Broken Vessels, so that's probably why the bass sounds different. And you know, I just in post-production just EQ'd it to fit the mix. So yeah, it's I didn't really do anything spectacular. It was my normal way of recording, pretty much going in through the TC Electronic RH750, and it's pretty much how I normally record. But of course, in the mixing process, beefed it up just a little bit more. Not too much, but yeah, beefed it up just a little more. Later on in the morning, when the wife and the kids are already up. Okay, hold on. Oh, okay. I ran all those together. So let me read that again, Shane, so I have a better understanding of what you said. I remember in one of your older streams, you mentioned that you tend to get up quite early in the AM so that you have plenty of time to practice, pray, and prepare yourself for your day. Do you record these streams early or later on in the morning when the wife and the kids are already up? I'm normally up before them, and I'm in a different building from my family, so that's why you never hear them. So in my that's why I probably couldn't go live at my old house because you would have definitely heard my kids running around by this time. Well, they're getting ready for school now, so I don't know. But yeah, I'm in a completely different building than my home right now. I'm like in my still in my property, but I'm in a different building. So if you're wondering if that's why it's so quiet, that's that's why it is because my family is not in the same building right now. So yeah, I'm normally out here in the studio pretty early. Thank you for that, Stephen. I appreciate that. Know your sound. Melvin, man, good morning to you. Okay, all right. So let me try to add some bass to this. Let's see what we got going on. Get my count in right. If I learn the bass line, I'll be good. Let's see here. Let's see here. And the count in. All right, one more time. Try to get a different cadence going. All right, let me practice with that because I feel like there's another cadence I want to do. All right, I think I'm getting there. I can do it better. Let's do it again. The downbeat is getting me. Almost. up to that point because I don't know if I want to trash the whole thing. I don't want to trash the whole thing. Let's see. Let me punch in. And if somebody is still trying to figure out this count isn't 7, 7, 8. Let's see here. Bouncy, I love that line. Appreciate it, man. Is the studio in the house or it's in its own building? Yeah, it's definitely in its own building. So so you can keep counting over 4, but you just gotta know that it's flipping. So like if I keep a steady pulse, like it flips. So like so that's the rhythmic cadence that I'm building off of. Sorry for all these notifications. So yeah, that's definitely the cadence. You can think of it that way. So so like it can get confusing if you start trying to push everything together too fast. But that's the way I'm kind of trying to think of it when I'm listening, so you can check out that cadence while I'm playing. So all the other stuff I'm doing is leading like around that. Like I'm using that like whatever I'm doing, and every other thing is like little lead-in notes around it. So I want to go to the 5, but it's flat 5. So yeah, and it's in the key of E flat. If somebody like has their bass out and you're following along, the progression is 2, 3, flat 5, 4, flat 7, 6, and then chromatic down from the flat 5. Different, but it's something to stretch you. So I'll make sure I upload that. I am recording what I just did. I didn't mean to do that. So let me get another track here because I want to keep what I had before, and I'll just punch it. Let's see if I got it. All right, give me just a second here. I think I did. Let's see. Yeah, this is gonna be fun for y'all to practice to. Have fun. So see if you can feel it a lot better without the metronome in there. All right, 7, 8, 9, 7, 4. I must be tired. Yeah, man. Gilberto, what's up, man? You answered. It's just I was asking the next question. I got it 7-8. Yeah, it's definitely 7-8. All right. I see all of y'all trying trying to catch the groove. It's cool. All right. So I think I answered everybody's question. I think so. I'm looking back through the questions just about. Yeah, all on. How can you help us explain the modal interchange and how you apply it? All good. Nice to see you. Um, well, what do you mean by that question? I told you, Christian, I'm not super technical, but I'm literally going this. We're in the key of E flat. We're just going through like the major. It's a major progression. So we're going from the 2 to the 3, which is minor. So and then what was that? I'm trying to figure out the chords on the bass. Let's see here. Get some keyboard back in here to get these chords back together. So I was playing. So we're going 2, 3, flat 5, 5, flat 5, 4, flat 7 to 6, and then back to that flat 5, chromatic down. Hopefully. Let's see here. Also, when it gets cold as the approach of winter does, and it's let me read that again. Also, when it gets as cold as we approach winter does, the studio gets chilly. My brother's studio is right above his garage, and yeah, it gets a little more chilly out here. I recently had some other stuff done to it to try to help with the insulation, and I added some insulation and that kind of stuff. I still need to do some more work because my studio, it doesn't sit above my house, but it definitely, it's an older building. Like I literally took an older building and like redone it. I literally, this building I think was built in like the 1800s or something like that, and I'm still working on it. Hopefully I don't lose reception. Let me take y'all around since we're still a work in progress, because y'all only see this corner every time I'm alive, but that's the other part of it. This is an older building. I try to move around here a little bit. Yeah, so you see that old, like ancient fireplace? This is like an old building. Like I said, it's still a work in progress, but it's coming together little by little. But yeah, and that's a whole nother side over there that rarely ever gets visited. It's for some other purposes, but you can see it over there. So y'all see my little model. That's my hobby. I build stuff when I'm bored or when I need a break from music. I hadn't built in like 4 years though. So yeah, it's definitely an older building, and that was a little short tour. That's a bathroom and all that stuff here. But yeah, that was the short version of the tour. It needs a little cleaning, so I didn't get all in depth with that. So yeah, let's see what else we can add to this track. Christy, I hope, yeah, there you go. I actually saw it from Nathan Navarro, where he takes a riff and apply different techniques and sound it different there. He mentioned about the modal interchange and inversion. Yeah, it's not something I really get in as far as the technical explanation of that. Christy, sorry that I'm not able to give you a better answer. I'll look into that term. I hadn't heard that term. Maybe it's something that I heard and forgot about. I'll look into that term and do some research on it. I'll get back to you on that particular term. But just catching me off guard with it. It's not a term I'm familiar with, surprisingly. So I definitely got to look that up. And this is a lot of methods to the way people create, and all of them are cool. But that's just not my way of creating. I don't really think that way when I'm creating music. As you can see, it's very raw and it's very like spontaneous sometimes. And I'm more of a go with the moment, what feels great in the moment, what works melodically, in the moment, and with the tune that I'm creating. This is like the stuff that I'm doing here, that I do on the lives is definitely spontaneous, and I don't have a lot of stuff going on to my brother speaking. What's up, man? I don't have a lot of time to really put into like really digging into the technicals or the theoretical side of what I'm doing, so I just kind of create in the moment. Long story short, it's kind of like being in church or like in a jam session, and the band was already playing a song, and then they just go into a groove, and it just starts morphing into stuff. It's like you're really not doing for me, I'm not doing a lot of theoretical thinking at the moment. I'm just kind of being in the moment, going with the moment, and then afterwards I'll go back and dissect. Because I've explained this a lot, but I'm like the opposite. I'm not very, what we call technical in my approach. It's like, it's more feel. It's internal, and then I go back and analyze it afterwards. No problem, Christy. No problem. He was talking about some borrowed chord. Yeah, got you. Tanya said that's an awesome space. That fireplace can become a beautiful fireplace to chill in front of and play music. Yeah, it could. We're still looking into that, but we don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna do it because it's old. It's very, very old. So I don't know if I'm gonna end up doing that or not. It got the potential, but I don't know. I might have to, because it's so old. I might have to just like rebuild it all together. It needs some repairing, and I don't want to burn my studio down. I'm trying to have a jam session in here. So good morning, bro. What happened to that bass from 2 weeks ago? Did you keep it? Which bass from 2 weeks ago? Yeah, I've only been playing this one consistently. And you talking about the Squire, or are you referring to a video that you watched that I was using the Serene? Because if you're referring back to the Serene, that Serene went back to its original owner. He wanted it back, so I got that back to the original owner. So yeah, I only was able to be graced with its presence just for a short while. So let's see here. If I sign up for lessons, are they pre-recorded, or is there a chance for live sessions as well? There are right now. I'm not doing with the monthly membership lessons. They are all recorded. All the lessons that are currently up, like over 180 lessons or so, they're all pre-recorded. Right now, I haven't gotten into the live portion of doing the live lessons with the monthly members, but I hope that that's a feature that we'll be adding soon. I'm still kind of researching some options of the best way to do that, because I definitely want it to be efficient and very effective when I do it. So I didn't want to just kind of jump into that. And not to mention, I'm kind of wearing a whole bunch of hats right now, but you do have access to tons of courses that I've already recorded, live one-on-one calls with me if you so choose. But as far as the live sessions, kind of like what we're doing here on YouTube, I haven't implemented that yet on the website, but it's something to be coming soon. So just stay tuned. We'll see. All right, so let me get back to this here track. Maybe you need to stop because I'm so far in at this point. because after a while it's like, all right, I got you. So all right, so let me get to some more of these comments. Um, Appreciate that, LJ. Yeah, that's definitely a 7, 7, 8. He said, I want to sign up. Christmas gift to me. By all means, man, please do. So, in today's live, the title of this was "You Have More." You have more. And what do I mean by that? What do I mean by you have more? Um, We're in the last quarter of the year. Matter of fact, we have one more month. We finish out the month of November and we go into the month of December. And a lot of us have ran out of gas, truth be told. Especially if you live in America and you've kind of been being fed with all of this political stuff. And we're not going to talk politics on this live this morning. This is not what this is about. But given everything that's been going on in the country this whole year with 2020 alone, I'm not going to call it a bad year. It was just an interesting year, to say the least. A year for growth. South Africa, I see you in the building. It's been a year for growth, and if you're not careful, you find yourself exhausted throughout parts of this year. I know I have several parts of this year where I find myself like feeling like I got the wind knocked out of me. And so it's like, if you're not careful, the thought that you will come to your mind is like, man, I can't take no more. I'm done. Like I've been saying over and over, man, 2020, it can kick rocks, all that kind of stuff. And I get it. I get where you're coming from when people make that statement, because it's a lot. This year has brought about a lot of change. I don't know where to start. I'm playing the guitar. I just learned the pentatonic scale, and I don't know how to play any tips. I'll try to come back to that indie angel if I have time. Let's see, somebody says, enjoying your work. I appreciate that. Thoroughly enjoying your work. I really appreciate it. So you can be at the point to where you're like really wanting to just kind of hang it up, throw in the towel. And I challenge you to dig even deeper, to go even a little harder. Now that we're in the last part of this year, because it ain't about how you start, it's about how you finish. It's about how you finish. Oftentimes, many of us, depending on how you came up in school and your age and all this kind of stuff, many of us weren't. Now, I can't speak for everybody. I can speak for me. Greetings from France, my dude. Thank you for your words. Absolutely, man. I appreciate that. Thank you for watching. I can speak for me. I wasn't always first. I wasn't always the first one picked out. When I was in school, I didn't always get the greatest of grades, to say the least. And, I wasn't voted most likely to succeed when I was in high school, and even going through college was a stretch for me, because I'm like, really? You trying to go to college? Like, I'm not saying that I didn't possess any knowledge, but I felt like I wasn't the honor roll student, if you will. But again, it's all about how you finish, because ultimately I did finish, but that didn't make me any better or whatever. I just took on a mentality that I got to do this. I have to finish this. At some point in my life, something kicked in, and it was just this whole idea of finishing stuff, getting done with stuff, finding that extra boost when you don't feel like you possess or have those necessary tools to do what you need to do. It's like being resourceful, going back to my book that I talked about, that whole 10 ways to success idea, being resourceful and using what you have available to you. Because some of you may not have been the smartest in your class, for layman's terms, you may not have been the sharpest crayon in the box, but nonetheless, you still finished what it is you started. You finished school. You might not have graduated at the top of your class, or you finished something, whatever the case may be. It ain't all about finishing school and the academic part. I don't want to make it all about academics. But the point is, if you started something, you had enough gall, you had enough something in you that helped you to finish it. And that thing that kicks in when you're about to give up, that's the thing that's really the defining moment in who we are. Because it's those moments that truly define us. Like that moment that you like, man, I'm done with this. I can't tell you how many points in my life that I wanted to just throw deuces to this music thing. Regardless of being able to play multiple instruments and having a little bit of success under my belt, there's been plenty of lows to where it challenged me whether or not I wanted to continue, whether or not it was worth it. Because it's like, man, the payoff doesn't seem like it's worth it. The payoff is not like that thing ain't adding up. So I don't know, man. I might want to, I might want to try something else. Go see a Walmart or somebody higher. You know what I'm saying? Like just being completely transparent with you, especially given the current climate that we're in as musicians, with the COVID going on and live venues being shut down everywhere around the world. Well, some of them have started to open back up, but for the most part, a lot of musicians and a lot of creatives, they lost their jobs. A lot of us lost work. We lost a big, huge chunk of our income. For some of us, if not all of our income, from performing and playing and outdoor events and indoor events and all that kind of stuff being canceled one after the other. A lot of us have been faced with the decision of, do I quit or do I continue to pursue this? Because it's like my light bill don't care nothing about this gig being canceled. It doesn't. So I get it. So we've been faced with that decision of what do I do? Do I pick up the pieces and just move on? Or do I try to figure out a way to make it work? If it's a worthy goal, I will say that. If it's a worthy goal to you, if it's something worth pursuing, you will find a way. You will find a way. Perseverance is just exactly what it means. You have to persevere. It sounds good and it sounds cute when people say it in speeches and you're watching a video and they're telling you this and they got some dude lifting weights and all that kind of stuff, pushing out that last set. That sounds great. But when it comes to real life, sometimes it's a little more difficult than just pushing out a last rep at the gym. Because life, once you get through with that last rep at the gym, you're not finished. You still got to come back in the next day or the next day after that and do the same thing over again. You don't just go in and hit it hard for one day and train like Rocky Balboa for 3 months and then you're done. You win the battle, it's all over with. We roll the credits, the film is done. That's not how life works. Stuff keeps coming, stuff keeps happening, and you have to keep showing up. You have to keep showing up. So 2020 has been a challenge for a lot of us. Some of us have lost relatives, we've lost friends, we've had people that's been affected by, racial stuff, by sickness, and so much. I can go on naming so many things, but I won't. But the point of the matter is, how do you respond to setback? How do you respond to it? Do you quit? Count up your losses and be like, all right, then, well, I guess I'll try something else. Must not have been meant to be. I've probably had more failures, in my opinion, in music than I've had wins. But nobody pays attention to the failures if you're winning. Most of the time, because people are only looking at the highlights. They never see the other part. Most of the time, we don't show that. People are not posting. You're not seeing me posting videos on YouTube of when I fail or posting videos on Instagram. Hey, guys, here's an update of me failing lately. You know what I'm saying? Seeing me in my practice room really bombing like every other day. People are not posting that, but that doesn't mean that it's not happening in the background. So you have to know that you're not the only one that's facing these obstacles and like having to do this stuff. We all have our own hand that we've been dealt, and all of us have to deal with these hands to the best of our ability. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of us have to deal with all of these obstacles as they are presented with us. And I see you guys' comments still coming in. I'll get back to them in a second. But yeah, all of us have to deal with these setbacks as they are handed to us. It's like, it's the ability to play a bad hand well. It's the ability to do that, to be able to play that bad hand. Some of y'all felt like y'all been dealt like a bad hand. Like, man, somebody got it out for me. Ain't no way. I'm doing all of this. I'm doing all that. And some of you guys that say, I'm trying to live right. I'm trying to do all this. Appreciate that for you guys that are giving. I'm trying to do all this stuff and nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't let that distract you. You can't let that get the best of you. You can't let that become your primary focus, because what will happen, you'll start getting sidetracked. You're supposed to meditate on things that are pure. I've talked about this before. You're supposed to meditate on things that are lovely, things that are of good report, things that make you happy in your mind, things that move you forward, things that have you thinking about things to come, things, not the current situation, because you can't define your life or your circumstance by everything that's going on. Situations change. So having a plan, having some type of goal, having some type of thing that you're pushing forward to helps you to keep going when you have these setback moments. When you have these setback moments, having your faith rooted in Christ definitely will help you to keep going when you have these setback moments, because we don't know what's coming tomorrow. It might be a second wind or a second wave. I hear so many people talking about the whole thing concerning this whole COVID thing, man. It's supposed to be a whole second wave coming in November. And I'm not denying that stuff has been bad and stuff might get bad, but I don't have to subscribe to somebody's opinion, because no man determines what's going to happen. No man does. You can make a plan for what you want to happen, but no man controls anything. You might manipulate some things, but ultimately you don't have full control of anything. So I don't have to subscribe to someone's negative opinion. I got sent something in my inbox the other day, matter of fact, just yesterday, and talking about the vaccine, so to speak, and all the negative stuff concerning the vaccine. I know it's nothing new to most of us. We've already heard about it. But it was all these negative things, and basically something to incite fear and make you fearful of what's to come. Oh man, things are finna get bad. They're finna start. It's like my response to that, because these are people that I respect. They were chiming in with the comments about this, that, and the other. My response to this, all I have to stand on is Psalms 91. Is a prayer of protection. If you've never read it before, do yourself a favor, pick a Bible and read that. Psalms 91 is prayer of protection. And, I'd rather stand on that, something that's been proven, something that's been tested, something that's been tried, and something solid, than to go out here on a theory of something that might happen. Fear, false evidence appearing real. You know what I'm saying? It might have all the things, all the ingredients to make it look like it's real, but it's not based on anything. It's based on a couple of studies and all this kind of stuff, and projected data and science and all. That's great, and I appreciate the research, but I don't base my life off of that, because if I did, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. If statistically I would look at my life where I am right now, none of it makes sense. I can't go into detail, but just trust me. Where I am, literally, like in this building, talking to you live right now, looking at the stats and looking at the numbers and looking at everything, how it's going and how this year has gone for me, it doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. That's my confirmation that I can't put my trust in a man's system, because it doesn't work. Parts of it might make sense, but ultimately you can't put your ultimate trust in that. You have to have something greater. You have to have something bigger that you're holding on to helps you go forward, because anything else is shaking. Anything else is shaking. So again, I encourage you. I know I kind of went off on that one, but I encourage you guys to finish strong. I've talked about this before. We still have a little bit of time left in this year. So for you creatives, now is the time. Now is the time for you to start with that idea, that musical idea. If you have a song that you were meaning to write and you haven't got around to it yet, now is the time to write that song. Now is the time to record that track, or do whatever you have to do. Maybe you don't have enough money to hire a producer, hire musicians. Who do you have in your circle that would be willing to do you a favor? Start utilizing these people. Not using, but utilizing these people. You know what I'm saying? These people that are in your circle, Some folks are waiting on you to just call them. Some people been hitting you up for years trying to do something, and you won't call them back. So a lot of you guys have been putting things off, and tomorrow is not promised. It was a friend of mine that passed away a few years ago, and the biggest hurtful thing about that whole thing is like he and I have been talking about doing music for several years, and it just never happened because we were always waiting on this. He was waiting to do this, and when I get this did, and when I finish this, and death caught him before he got able to do, or I'm sorry, not before he was able, but death caught him before he took the jump to just do it. So a lot of times, even if I don't have all the answers, I'll just go. I'll just go with something. Of course, I'm not just out here wilding out and doing stuff without considering the consequences. I'm considering it. But at the same time, I'm not talking myself out of ideas and visions and thoughts that's been given to me because I don't have all the answers. That's okay to not have all the answers. As you move, you'll be given what you need. There's a verse that I love. It says, I will instruct you in the way that you should go, and I will counsel you with my loving eye on you. I think that's Psalms 32:8. But it's one that I love because it's like, dude, as you move, I'll give you what you need. Another one is like, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, he will direct your path. Proverbs 3:5 and 5-6. So it's like there are things that confirm, and these things I've seen in my own life. I can't speak for you, and I'm not trying to force what I believe on you, but I'm just telling you what's worked for me and what I've seen the biggest turnaround in my life with trusting these things that I cannot see. And as I move in faith with just trying something, stuff just started happening. Things start opening up. People start opening doors. People start giving me opportunities that I didn't have before. I took a risk with, about 10 years ago doing a say it with your strings competition. Just trying something. I had an idea and I wanted to go with this idea. And the next thing I know, certain things started opening up for me. Getting a foot in with Bass Players United, like being a part of the team, Groove Gear jumping on board, so many other companies jumping on board, just throwing stuff at the competition and just giving stuff to up and coming players and creating a platform that got the attention of major players around the world. People started coming to this thing because I took a chance on an idea. It was just an idea. In my opinion, at that time, I was just some low thoughts. I was just some random dude on YouTube that a few people knew about, but the majority didn't. But just taking a chance on that created a platform that not only helped me, but it helped other people who were, winners of these competitions, or people who were like high in the rankings of this competition. So just sometimes just going with an idea. You don't have to have it all figured out. Sometimes you'll get the answers as you go. You'll get the resources as you go. But as long as you sit on your porch, trying to calculate, or sit in your living room, or sit at your kitchen table, trying to figure everything up and trying to add the numbers up, the numbers don't work. It's like you just sit there and, man, I can't do it until no. Sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith. You just have to take a leap of faith, even if it doesn't all make sense. As you take your leap of faith, the answers will come. If you're doing, now let me say this, because I don't want to encourage somebody to do something foolishness without giving some type of wisdom with it. If you're doing your due diligence on your part, like you're doing the necessary things on your part as you're trying to move forward, you're doing the research, you're trying to find the resources. Sometimes doors just don't open right away. You're doing all the right stuff, meaning you're putting in the right effort. You're trying your best to, like with your music, you're trying your best to, practice and do all the stuff you need to do, but you're not getting it just yet. Sometimes you just need to just go for it. Whatever that thing, I can't tell you what that thing is. For some of you, it's a song. For some of you, it's getting a house. Some of you, it's getting a car. Some of you, it's going for another job. For some of you, it's starting your own business. There's so many things. I can't really say what that thing is for you, but you know what it is that you've been on the edge about. And if you've been doing the necessary work that you need to do to make this thing happen. As you move, you'll see things start to happen. But as you sit still, you see nothing. You'll see nothing as you sit still. Just sitting and waiting on the right time to jump in. Kind of like the person that sits and wait while everybody else is jumping in, doing the double dutch or the jump rope and everything, but you're just still sitting and waiting on the right time. There's never going to be a right time. The rope is not going to stop as long as the game is going on. This rope is going to keep turning. You just got to jump in at some point and either get hit by that rope and figure it out on your way. You know what I'm saying? You just got to jump in. You just simply have to jump in. That's the best I can tell you. You have to jump in. Make your move, jump in. You're going to notch your head up. It's going to happen. But that's a part of the growth. Because without those things, 2020 and 2019 has been such growth years for me. Like, I can't even explain to you guys how much growth has happened for me personally through this time of these 2 years, or almost 2 years, I would say. But just, it's probably been a little better than, 19 months, I would say, that this has been a great time of growth for me. Growth, the biggest area for me is the growth in my faith. My faith in God. To be able to trust, really trust. Not, a lot of us that are, church goers or grew up in church and, all that kind of stuff, we like to throw around the term, I'm just trusting God. I'm just trusting God. But as soon as the fire is presented to us, most of us will bow down to whatever that thing is. Soon as the threat of fire, the threat of death, the threat of failure, the threat of something happening that is out of my control, we'll bow down. We'll bow down to that other thing, but yet we're trusting in God. No, this is a time where my faith has really been trust. Oh, you said you trust in God? All right, cool. Well, I'm going to throw this at you. Now what you going to do? You still trust? All right, cool. All right, so I'm going to throw this and there was some moments that it got shook, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. There were some moments that it was shook. My faith was shook, and it's like I was fed up. Like, man, I'm done with this. Like, y'all can have the whole thing. Like, just look, I will get rid of all of this stuff and just go and do something else, because the testing of my faith was hard. I don't want to, give y'all this idea that you can get, I put it like this, you can get this image of looking at a person like me create all this music that is easy. And this dude just moving, he's playing a keyboard, he comes over here and play the bass, and he ain't even sweating. You don't see the sweat live because all the sweating is happening behind the curtain. You don't see the sweating that's happening behind the curtain. You see this big great thing or something that's presented as great in front of you because all of the work has been done behind the scenes. So now, because all this work has been done behind the scenes, what's presented to you is presented in the matter that, like, it's easy, but it's not easy. None of it is easy. No matter where you are in this life, because this angle that I'm shooting, notice with the perspective of the camera that you're getting. You're getting a very closed off view. You're seeing what I want you to see in this view. You're not seeing everything. You're seeing a couple of musical instruments. You're seeing me dead center and a couple of walls and some speakers and the keyboard, whatever. You're seeing that. And that's a closed off view. And that's the image that you're being shown. And oftentimes, the enemy of your mind will use those images to give you a very closed off view that won't allow you to see the full picture of what's really going on in your life. So you will only see the problem. But if you take that away, you'll notice, if you take this frame away, that there's more to it than just the problem. There's a lot more to it than what you are seeing. So you can't rely on what you see. Faith is not seeing. You know what I'm saying? Faith is walking by faith, not by sight. You can't depend on what you see, because what you see can very well be lying to you. I could, prior to spinning the camera around, it could have been junk piled up this high in my studio when I turned this camera around, but you wouldn't know it if I hadn't walked around and showed you the room. Like, you would think, oh man, this thing is like spick and span. For the most part, it's pretty clean, but I'm just using that as a scenario. That could be, I could walk out of here and having to jump over top of stuff trying to get out of here. But this little area here looks neat to some degree, depending on who you are. You know what I'm saying? So don't always be fooled by what you see. That's my point I'm trying to make. Don't let what you see fool you. And the same thing in your own life. If you're experiencing setbacks, don't let those setbacks fool you into thinking that you're on the wrong path. Because sometimes you might be on the right path, but it's that trying of your faith that produces that patience. Because it's something about having to go through these things and having to go through these challenges that give us the strength that we need to keep going. Because the more weight I put on that bench each and every day, every time I try to do a workout, or the more reps I do, it seems like I'm getting a little bit stronger. Because the next time I sit down to pick up something, it doesn't feel as heavy as it did the first time. But that was only because I kept putting more weight on it. And most of us want this music thing, want our career, our life to be easy. We don't want any weight added to it. And you don't understand the weight is the thing that gives you the ability to stand, to withstand the pressure that life places on you. The weight is the thing that helps you to be able to stand when you start experiencing the success that you wanted to experience. Because I heard somebody say this, when you start experiencing success, it never looks like what you envision in your mind. Some parts of it do, but some parts of it don't. In the moment, it's almost like it's hindsight. What to say in hindsight is always 20/20. When you're in the moment of success, it doesn't look like what you thought it was going to look like. So oftentimes when you're experiencing it, you don't recognize it. It don't look like success. This ain't what I asked for. This is not what I didn't ask to be here. I didn't ask for this to happen. Yeah, but you asked for success. You asked for this particular thing and you got it. Yeah, but I didn't want that. You don't get to make the rules. That's the thing. You don't get to make the rules. So you have to take the punches. You have to roll with them. You have to take them and roll with them. And remember, you got more in you. You have more in you than you think. Once you start tapping into what's on the inside of you and start allowing it to come out even in your practice, and I'll bring it back to bass playing for the bass players. Some of y'all, I'm talking to you, you were thinking about quitting. Just this week, you were thinking about quitting. You were thinking about giving up on this thing because you can't figure it out. Some of you were thinking about quitting and throwing in the towel and being like, man, bump it. I'll just tune in on Tuesday and watch Jermaine do his thing, or watch this video of this person do their thing. I'll just go do something else because this ain't for me. No, it's for you. It's for you. If you're here, it's for you. It's going to take a little while. It's going to take a little time. You're going to have to dig, work a little bit harder, but it's for you. You just have to dig in. You got to dig in. There's no people have asked me throughout the years with my lessons, like basically looking for the secret formula to get good fast. I'm like, man, if I knew that, I'd be drinking it. You know what I'm saying? If I knew how to do it, I would be, there is no secret to this thing. The secret is working your behind off in terms of trying to get better and doing everything you can do and persevering, not giving up, because you're going to hit those moments. You're going to hit those glass ceilings that I've talked about in some of my other videos. You're going to hit those glass ceiling moments that you feel like you're not going anywhere. One of the things, I'll use a scenario. One of the things I love, my family, if some of you guys follow my family channel, the Morgan's Vlog, it's here on YouTube. One of the things I like about it ain't even about the people who view it on the outside. I like being able to go back and see the moments with my kids when they were like a lot smaller, like especially my older two. They were a lot smaller, and seeing just how they interacted, how they sounded, the stuff that they were doing, all this kind of stuff. And one of the things, I was talking to my wife about this yesterday. I'm like, I didn't even realize, even with my baby girl, she's 3 now. It's like I didn't see her grow. I'm going somewhere with this. I didn't see her grow. She's 3 now. When we got here to this spot, she was 1. And now she's 3. But I didn't see her grow. I see her growth, but I didn't see her grow. I was with her every day, looking at her every single day. I might have missed 1 or 2 days out of almost 2 years. But I was there looking at her every day, hearing her talk. Now she's developing sentences really well. Now I go back and look at a video from a year ago. I'm like, I didn't even realize she was talking that well. It's like I didn't see her grow. And some of you are going through that with your playing. You're frustrated because you're not seeing yourself grow, but you're doing the work every day. You're practicing, you're putting the time in, you're putting in your 10 hours or whatever a week, you're recording yourself, you're doing, especially with my students, my one-on-one students, you're doing all the stuff, you're doing the stuff that we're talking about in the lessons, but you're frustrated because you're not seeing yourself grow. But that's why I tell a lot of my students, record yourself and go back and watch it. Go back and watch it like 2-3 months later. Go back and watch it like a year later. That's how you see growth. What's the saying? A watched pot never boils. You don't see it happening right then unless you're really bored and you got a lot of time to waste. It's kind of like the person that sit around and watch paint dry. You got a lot of stuff not to do if you're going to have time to sit around and watch this paint dry. Like, you hardly ever see the growth while it's happening. But if you go away from it, leave it alone for a while and just do the necessary things. Do the necessary things. When you come back, you're going to see there's been exponential growth in this thing, but you can't see it while you're sitting looking at it because you're too close to the image. You're too close to the thing. You're too close to yourself. You're too close to your own sound. You're too close to what you're hearing. So you can't see the growth. You can't hear the growth in your plan because you're listening to yourself, critiquing everything. While I'm raising my kids, I can't see them growing. I can only see it when I go back and look at the old videos and compare it to the new stuff. I look at the old pictures and compare it to how they currently are. That's the only way I'm able to tell the difference, by looking back at where we came from. And until you look back at how far you've come and be thankful and be grateful for that, you'll always be in this self-sabotaging mentality that I'm not doing anything. And I've talked about this on a number of lives in terms of the way we talk and the stuff that we say about ourselves. Man, I'm so dumb. I'm so stupid. I can't play. I'm no good. All this stuff that you say to yourself, that you're sabotaging your own growth. You're killing your own growth. What they tell you about talking to plants and making them grow, you're not supposed to go over there and talk, just negative stuff to the plants. If you go talk to the plants, I know the scientific point of that is the oxygen or the carbon dioxide or whatever. It helps the plant to grow. But the idea is you're talking to the plant and interacting with the plant, and the plant grows because you're talking to it. But the thing is, you're talking positive stuff to yourself. And the more you keep talking, kind of like when I was doing the track, notice when I was messing up, hopefully if you guys took this away from earlier when I was creating the track, when I was trying to play that melody, one of the things I kept saying, I said, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. And I had to work on that over the years, being able to talk positive to myself and encourage myself while I'm going through, while I'm being tested, while I'm in the middle of this thing, reminding myself, dude, you got what it takes. You got a lot more in you. It's in you. You just need to pull it out. You just need to access it, pull it out, because there's a lot more in you than what you're accessing. That's pretty much, I can't keep going on. Anything else I say past this point is going to be the same thing. So for you guys that are thinking about quitting, you have more. You have more in you. I'm just here to encourage you. This is Jermaine Morgan. This is Grooves of Motivation. And we've been grooving this morning. And this is your motivation talk right here. You got more in you. You got more in you than you've been settling for. And I guarantee you, most of you watching this morning, as it relates to your thing that you're trying to do, most of us can't honestly say you've been going 100%. And the good question that I just seen that question, Tiffany, how do you access it? Well, once you figure out what that thing is, what you have, you go after it with all you have. Like whatever you did to get you to the point that you are now, the little bit of whatever you can do, if it's like, let's dumb it down to base plan. I don't mean dumb it down, but let's take it to base plan. If you're a beginner and you just started on the base, whatever you did to get you to the point that you are at now, then you got to maximize the efforts of that. Whatever that thing was. We just use a base plan for example. But whatever got you to the point that you are now, you have to maximize those efforts. Maximize them. Because where you are now, the things that got you to where you are now, obviously are not enough to take you to the next place. You have enough in you, but you need to grow them. In order for a seed to grow, it has to be watered. It has to be placed in the right environment. You have to place that seed in the right environment. You can't leave it on the desk. I can't come in here and place a seed on my desk and expect for it to grow. I got to place that seed in the right environment. I got to give it the right stuff. I have to give it the right nutrients. If I'm trying to grow a garden, I have to make sure that I'm fertilizing the ground with the right stuff. Because if I just plant it out here randomly with my grass, the weeds are going to kill it. So how do I access it? I start running towards the things that I'm trying to do and running away from the things that take me away from that. So that means one of the things I'm learning to do when I'm trying to stay focused, I've said this before, I have to fuss at myself. Like, get off your phone, get off social media. What are you doing? Like, dude, come on. That's taking you away. If you're not looking at something that's pulling you closer to where you're trying to go, then that thing is pulling you further away from where you're trying to go. If you're trying to improve in terms of growth in playing or producing music, YouTube has tons of content on learning how to use a DAW. Basically a workstation, a recording, some type of recording software. Find something. Start somewhere. It doesn't matter how much it costs. Get something. You don't have to start out with the greatest stuff, and I know all this stuff, man. You want to have good cables, and if you don't have the budget for that, start with what you have. Use what you can afford. Start with what you have. Get something and get started. Watch some tutorials on that. Make it part of your to-do list, just like you make eating a part of your to-do list. Watch some videos that teach you how to do that thing that you're trying to do. You literally can about figure out anything on YouTube now. Thank God for YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can, I fix my car sometimes, like looking at some videos somebody put up on YouTube, and I didn't know nothing about that thing. But pulling that video out, I started figuring it out, and I just started working it. Start working the juice. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Somebody's already done it for you. You just need to get to the information. There are books that people have written. The thing that I found over this journey of mine over the last several years or more, that I've been really shifting my mindset, and I talked a lot about this in my course, Be Productive and Multiply, on my site. Shameless plug, JermaineMorgan.net. Check out Be Productive and Multiply, that course. I talked about some of the things I started doing to change my mind. One of the things I noticed as I started changing my mindset and trying to develop this whole, being productive and growing my business and growing myself personally, as I started looking, information started presenting itself to me. To answer your question, Tiffany, the more I started looking for this stuff, the information started coming to me. Ask, and it shall be given. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it shall be open to you. When you sit still, going back to what I said probably about 45 minutes ago, when you sit still and you do nothing, nothing happens. When you sit still, wondering and thinking and pondering like those people, and I was, this is my favorite line from, some of the homies that, man, I was thinking about calling you. I was getting ready to call you. They've been getting ready to call you for the last 6 years. You've been getting ready to record your song for the last 7 years. You've been getting ready to do something forever, but you haven't done it yet because you're not asking, you're not seeking, you're not knocking enough. When I started looking for ways to improve my business, I started finding book after book. Even the way that these algorithms work now with social media and all that kind of stuff, if you start looking, it's a biblical principle, but it's actually literal. If you start looking up a certain thing, they will suggest to you advertisements to do that very thing you're trying to do. They will suggest to you books you need to read. It will be some person on here. Are you a person that's trying to learn how to play the bass? Well, I have news for you. I've created, somebody's going to advertise that very thing that you're looking for. It's like you get online looking at Amazon for some socks, and the next thing you know, you keep seeing all these sock commercials all of a sudden out of nowhere. So it's like, it ain't like it used to be where, your reticular activating system would be looking for this stuff. You're looking for a red car. Now you start seeing red cars everywhere. It's like, it ain't like that no more. You don't have to try to activate that. Algorithms is activating it for you. So if it's something you're looking for, start researching it. And I guarantee you the answers will come. Seek and you shall find. You know what I'm saying? You will find what you're looking for if you start looking for it. But if you're waiting for an opportunity to happen. You're waiting for somebody to give you something. You're waiting for somebody to open the door for you. You're going to be standing there for a minute. I'm just telling you from what I know. Had I been doing some of this stuff that I'm doing years ago, I would have been further along. But you live and you learn and you grow. It's not enough to just live. It's not enough to just learn. You have to grow from what you learn, because there are a lot of smart, dumb people. It's a lot of like intelligent fools that know a whole bunch of stuff, but they don't do anything with the information. So you take the stuff that you learn and you grow from it. You improve daily. Improve daily. I seen somebody put up Romans 12:2 earlier. Yeah. You know, not being conformed to his mind, being transformed by the renewing of your mind, like daily dying to yourself, daily transforming your mind, daily changing the way you think. It doesn't happen today, and I watched Jermaine's video, man, I'm motivated, and I got some nuggets, man, and then tomorrow you back to the same thing. No, you have to continue to feed yourself stuff that helps you grow. I have to do that every single morning. I have to feed myself something. The reason why I get up early, I have to feed myself stuff that helps me grow, helps me move forward. It helps me become better than I was yesterday. All right? I said I wasn't going to go back into that, but I was answering the question, so that's my excuse. All right, let's go back, since I done missed like 1,000 comments. I'm going to try to go back and read some of them. Okay. Somebody asked, Andy Angel asks, I don't know where to start with playing the guitar. I just learned the pentatonic scale. Now I don't know what to do. You're talking about playing guitar, playing bass. You said guitar. I don't know if you meant bass with that, but I would say, start learning your chords and chord functions. I would say learning your scales. If you know the pentatonic, that's great, and finding ways to implement that, because the pentatonic is definitely one of the most, or some of the most important scales to me in popular music. You hear that pentatonic over the place, everywhere. If you can learn the pentatonic and learning the blues scales, like the minor and the major blues scales, and learning your chords, really going through and learning your chords, chord function, that's a good place to start. So somebody says, I'm watching from South Africa, thoroughly enjoying your work. Appreciate that. Greetings from France. I know I missed y'all like way forever ago. Sorry about that. This is crazy. Those are exactly the words I needed to hear. I started coaching recently, and this is exactly what we're working on. Awesome, man. L, that's good to hear. I needed the bass track you created 2 weeks ago. I'm still on the fence about that one, Andre. Joshua Gatling, that's good, bro. Thank you. Tiffany says, good point. We don't post our failures. Absolutely not. Not for the most part. Most of us don't. Now, unless we want somebody to laugh and we want to go viral. So, Tanya says, for me, 2020 has been a year of revelation of all society, revolution and hurting people, and reverence and rediscovery of God. I have lost and learned. Trusting God carries me through it all. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Very valuable words that people need to hear, especially in these days. Christy says that, thank you, Christy. There will be setbacks, and we must take whatever comes, because life is about experience and contrast. How else will we enjoy the fruition of our labor if we don't put our hearts and patience in it? That's good. I like that. Gotta go. Zuala, thank you for being here. Do not conform to the pattern. Yeah, absolutely. LJ says, amen. She said, you made it look easy, but I get it. Romans 12:2. Yeah. Motivation to movement. Awesome words. Wisdom, sir. Thank you for that. That's deep. Didn't see this growth. Didn't see the growth. Too close. That's so true. I need to record myself more so I can get it. Yeah, y'all definitely need to do that. I've been encouraging people to do that for a minute, to start recording yourself. And I think I answered for the most part. Yes, the phone is a distraction for me too, man. The phone is a distraction for everybody for the most part. Not everybody, but a good bit. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I just wanted to jump on and share these thoughts with you guys this morning. Hopefully you really enjoyed it. If you want more stuff, more content like this, be sure to press the subscribe button. And Jerome, hello to you. Hopefully you're not spamming me because I'm gonna have to block you if you are. Uh, but if you want more content like this, be sure to press that subscribe button. Be sure to turn on my notifications. That way you can be notified when I go live. I normally go live every Tuesday morning, Eastern Standard Time at at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can catch me here every morning. If you want to find out a little bit more about who I am, you can go to JermaineMorgan.net. All of my stuff, all of my information, all the stuff I do is there. You can find everything, literally everything there, including merchandise. If you like the hoodie and you want it, you can find it there. We have different designs and all that stuff as well. And I encourage you, I have to say it, I have to make myself remember to tell you guys to go get my latest book, 10 Ways to Success, The Working Musician. And a lot of the thoughts that I'm sharing in here, I give some practical things that I've done throughout my own career that will help you in your own career to start becoming more resourceful. So again, I appreciate you guys, man. Bless y'all so much for being here. And I'm going to jump off. Thank you. If you found this video helpful, share it with somebody that needs to hear it. And I'll see y'all later. I'm out. Peace.